I always knew my sister resented me, but I never imagined she'd go this far. What I discovered 2 years into my marriage didn't just break my heart, it shattered everything I thought I knew about family. But here's the thing, I got the last laugh. And trust me, it was worth every single tear. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let me know where you're listening from in the comments. I always knew my sister resented me, but I never imagined she'd destroy my marriage just to prove she could win. What started as borrowed clothes and forgotten plans ended with her in my husband's arms for 2 years. But here's the thing, while they were laughing at how pathetic and trusting I was building a case that would ruin them both. And when I finally struck, God, it felt good. My name is Emma and I'm 32 years old. I work as an accountant, I live in a modest 3-bedroom house, and for most of my life, I've been invisible. Not to strangers, to my own family. See, I'm the middle child, and my older sister Vanessa has always been the golden one, the favorite, the star, and me? I was just there. Background noise in the symphony of Vanessa's perfect life. Growing up, it was always about her. When we were kids, Vanessa got the lead role in every school play while I painted sets backstage. She got a brand new car for her 16th birthday with a big red bow on top. I got a card with $50 in it and a pat on the head. Our parents flew across the country to watch her college volleyball games, but somehow they couldn't make it to my graduation ceremony because Dad had a work thing that just came up. I learned early on to make myself smaller, to not expect too much, to be grateful for whatever scraps of attention came my way, and I told myself it was fine. I wasn't jealous. I was happy for Vanessa. She was my big sister, after all. The pattern continued into adulthood. When I got engaged to David 4 years ago, my parents were happy, sure, but not thrilled. Mom actually asked me, "Are you sure he's successful enough?" Like my happiness was some kind of business transaction. David was an architect, for God's sake. He was kind, he was stable, and he loved me. At least, I thought he did. 6 months after our engagement, Vanessa announced she was marrying Michael, a surgeon. Suddenly, our parents couldn't talk about anything else. Vanessa's wedding became this massive production, a destination wedding in the Bahamas with 200 guests, a featured spread in a local lifestyle magazine, and a price tag that could have bought a house. My wedding? We got married at the courthouse with 20 people and dinner at a nice restaurant afterward. Vanessa didn't even show up. She texted me the morning of saying she had a work emergency. I cried in the bathroom for 20 minutes, then plastered on a smile and married David anyway. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself Vanessa was busy, that she didn't mean to hurt me. That's what I always did, made excuses for her. But then something strange happened. After David and I got married, Vanessa suddenly wanted to be close. She started dropping by our house unannounced, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. She'd call David directly to ask for advice about renovation ideas since he was an architect. At first, I felt this weird flutter of hope in my chest. Maybe she finally wanted a real relationship with me. Maybe marriage had matured her. I was so stupid. The little dig started slowly. She'd walk into our house and wrinkle her nose. "Emma, how does David live like this? There's dust on the bookshelf." She'd laugh like it was a joke, but David would glance around like he was seeing our home through her eyes for the first time. She'd open our fridge and sigh. "Really, Em? Takeout containers again? Remember when we were kids and you burned cereal?" I swear, some things never change. David would chuckle uncomfortably. I'd force myself to laugh along. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeless in the kitchen. Family dinners got worse. Vanessa would always sit next to David, even if it meant making someone else move. She'd touch his arm while she talked, throw her head back laughing at his jokes, ask his opinion on everything while completely ignoring me. And our mother would just beam at the table like she was watching her favorite TV show. "Isn't it wonderful how close you all are?" she'd say. I started feeling insane. Was I imagining things? Was I being a jealous, paranoid wife? David never seemed bothered by it. If anything, he seemed flattered by Vanessa's attention. And Vanessa was married to Michael, for crying out loud. She couldn't, she was my sister. Then David started working late. "Big project, babe. Don't wait up." He'd come home at 11, sometimes midnight, smelling like perfume. "Must be from the client meeting," he'd say, kissing my forehead. His phone was always face down on the table. When it buzzed, he'd snatch it up quickly. "Just work stuff." I'd nod and smile and push down the sick feeling in my stomach. One night, I was putting David's suits away and found a receipt in his jacket pocket. Dinner for two at Marcello's, an expensive Italian restaurant downtown. The date was from 3 weeks ago, a Tuesday night when he'd told me he was working late on blueprints. My hand started shaking. I recognized that restaurant. It was Vanessa's favorite. She'd posted about it a dozen times on Instagram, always calling it her special place. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through Vanessa's Instagram. That Tuesday, the night of the receipt, there was no post, no story, nothing. Vanessa posted every single day without fail. Why would that night be different? My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. David was in the shower. I could hear the water running. My feet moved on their own, carrying me to his laptop on the dressing table. He never closed it, never locked it. Why would he? I was trustworthy, predictable Emma. I opened his email. And that's when my entire world shattered into a million pieces. The first email I saw was from 5 days ago. The subject line was empty, but the preview text made my blood run cold. I can't stop thinking about last night. You're amazing. It was from Vanessa's personal email address. The one I'd sent birthday cards and Christmas photos to for years. My finger hovered over the trackpad. Part of me wanted to slam the laptop shut and pretend I'd never seen it. But I clicked it open anyway. And then I clicked another. And another. I scrolled back through months of messages, my vision blurring with tears I refused to let fall. 2 years. They'd been doing this for 2 years. Since 6 months after my wedding. There were hundreds of emails. I love you. I miss your touch. Tonight was incredible. Hotel confirmations. Photos of them together that made me want to vomit. And the worst part? They talked about me. About how pathetic I was. How trusting. How easy it was to fool me. One message from Vanessa, dated 8 months ago. She's always been so pathetic, David. Remember when we were kids and she'd follow us around like a lost puppy? She'll probably cry for a week when we tell her, then forgive us both. She always does. She's got no spine. David's response: I know. Sometimes I feel bad, but then I remember how good we are together. She's just safe. Boring. You're exciting. You're everything I actually want. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. Everything I'd eaten that day came back up while the shower was still running. My husband was in there, probably thinking about my sister, while I was on my knees retching into the toilet we'd picked out together at Home Depot. I wiped my mouth and kept reading. I had to know everything. There were messages about family gatherings where they'd sneak away together. Your parents' anniversary party was perfect. Emma was so busy helping your mom in the kitchen, she didn't even notice we were gone for 40 minutes. There were messages mocking what I wore, how I talked, how I tried so hard to make everyone happy. She wore that ugly floral dress to dinner. God, she has no style. You deserve so much better. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely scroll. Then I found the recent messages, from just 3 days ago. Vanessa complaining Michael is getting suspicious. He asked why I've been so distracted. We need to cool it for a bit. David's reply made something inside me snap, or we just tell them. Leave them both. Emma will cry and make it dramatic, but she'll get over it. And honestly, we're better together anyway. We should stop hiding. Vanessa: not yet. I need to figure out the prenup situation with Michael first. That thing is ironclad and I'm not walking away with nothing. And with Emma, we need to be smart. Make her think the divorce is her idea somehow. You know how she is, she'll want to look dignified and mature about it. We can use that. The water stopped running. I heard David humming in the bathroom. Actually humming. Like he didn't have a care in the world. Like he hadn't just spent 2 years destroying me. Something cold settled in my chest. It wasn't sadness anymore. It was rage. Pure, crystalline rage. But underneath that was something else: calculation. I thought about confronting them right now. Screaming, throwing things, demanding answers. I imagined Vanessa's crocodile tears, David's excuses, my parents inevitably taking Vanessa's side because that's what they always did. These things happen, Emma. Don't be so dramatic. You're making this worse than it needs to be. No, not this time. This time, I was going to be smart. I grabbed my phone and started taking photos of the laptop screen. Every email, every photo, every damning message. My hands were steadier now, my mind clearer than it had been in months. I created a new email address they'd never know about and forwarded everything to myself. Then I checked our bank accounts. My name was on everything. Joint checking, joint savings, the investment accounts David had set up. Good. The bathroom door opened. David walked out in his pajamas, toweling his hair dry, smiling at me like nothing was wrong. Like he hadn't just been planning my humiliation with my own sister. "Hey babe, everything okay? You look pale." I was back in bed, laptop closed, pretending to read a book I'd grabbed from the nightstand. My heart was hammering but my voice came out steady. "I'm fine, just tired. Long day." He kissed my forehead, the same lips that had kissed Vanessa. I wanted to scream. Instead, I smiled softly. "Oh, Vanessa called earlier. She wants to do dinner this weekend. The four of us." She suggested that new steakhouse downtown. I watched his face carefully. There it was, a tiny flash of panic before he recovered. "Yeah, sure, that sounds good. Great. I'll text her tomorrow to confirm." I turned back to my book, dismissing him. He looked almost relieved that I wasn't being clingy or suspicious. Perfect. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Then I started making calls. I found a divorce lawyer who specialized in infidelity cases. I found a private investigator who could document everything. I opened a separate bank account at a different bank and started transferring money, carefully, legally, amounts that wouldn't trigger alerts. I photographed every important document in our house: marriage certificate, property deeds, bank statements, David's employment contracts. For 2 weeks, I played the perfect wife. I smiled. I cooked dinners. I suggested we spend more time with Vanessa and Michael. "I feel like we've been distant lately," I told David with wide, innocent eyes. He looked almost guilty but agreed enthusiastically. Vanessa seemed thrilled, probably thinking she'd get more opportunities to rub her victory in my face. I asked David for advice on improving myself. Could he help me pick out a new wardrobe? Did he think I should lose weight? What could I do to be more fun, more interesting? He gave me encouraging answers while looking uncomfortable. Vanessa, when I asked her the same questions at lunch, smirked like she'd already won. The private investigator got me photos within a week. Vanessa and David checking into a hotel, holding hands in a restaurant across town, kissing in David's car outside her real estate office. Every photo was timestamped and geotagged. Airtight evidence. My lawyer looked at everything I'd gathered and actually grinned. "This is perfect. He won't know what hit him." Then Michael called me. "Emma, can we talk?" Privately, my stomach dropped. We met at a coffee shop. He looked terrible, exhausted, suspicious. "Something's going on with Vanessa. She's been acting strange for months. Secretive. Distant. I think she's having an affair." I made a decision in that moment. "Come to dinner at my house next Friday. I'm inviting my parents too. Trust me, Michael. Just come." He searched my face and nodded slowly. "Okay." I spent that week planning every detail. I had the divorce papers ready. I had a second envelope prepared for Michael. I practiced what I'd say in the mirror until my voice didn't shake anymore. Friday came. Everyone was gathered in my dining room. My parents, Vanessa, Michael, David. They were all laughing, drinking wine, completely oblivious. Vanessa was sitting next to David, of course. Her hand kept brushing his arm. I stood up with my wine glass and cleared my throat. The room went quiet. David smiled at me expectantly. Vanessa looked amused, like she was waiting for me to embarrass myself. I set down my glass and picked up the manila envelope beside my plate. "I've filed for divorce." The silence was deafening. You could have heard a pin drop. David's face drained of all color, his wine glass frozen halfway to his mouth. Vanessa's smile faltered, confusion flickering across her features before she arranged her face into shock. "What? Emma, what are you talking about? What happened?" I didn't answer her. Instead, I slid the divorce papers across the table to David. His hands trembled as he picked them up, his eyes scanning the first page like he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Then I turned to Michael and slid a second envelope across the table. "I think you need to see this." Michael opened it slowly. I watched his face change as he pulled out the first photo, then the second, then the third. Time-stamped images of his wife and my husband together, kissing in parking lots, holding hands in restaurants, checking into hotels. 2 years worth of documented betrayal. "What the hell is this?" Michael's voice was low, dangerous. He spread the photos across the table like evidence at a crime scene. "Vanessa, what the hell is this?" Vanessa lunged for the photos, her face panicked. "Those aren't, we can explain, Michael, it's not what it looks like. There are 50 photos here, Vanessa. 50. With dates and timestamps." Michael's hands were shaking. "This one is from our anniversary weekend. You said you had to work late. You were with him. David finally found his voice. Emma, please, let's talk about this privately. We don't need to do this in front of everyone. Something inside me snapped. Privately? Like how you and my sister talked privately in hotel rooms for 2 years. Like how you discussed leaving me in hundreds of emails. Like how you planned to make me think the divorce was my idea so I'd look dignified while you destroyed me. My mother gasped. Emma, lower your voice. You're being hysterical. I laughed. Actually laughed. It felt good. There it is. Even now, even with photographic evidence in front of you, you're telling me I'm the problem. You're telling me to calm down. I turned to look at her, really look at her. Did you know, Mom? Did any of you know? The silence that followed told me everything. My father couldn't meet my eyes. Vanessa was crying now, reaching for our mother's hand. Mom, I didn't mean for this to happen. We fell in love. These things just happen sometimes. You didn't fall in love, I said quietly, and the coldness in my voice made everyone stop. You took what was mine because that's what you've always done. You took my clothes, my accomplishments, my moments, my dignity, and I let you. For 32 years, I let you walk all over me because I thought that's what being a good sister meant. I made excuses for you. I made myself smaller so you could shine brighter. I looked at David, who was staring at the divorce papers like they might disappear if he looked hard enough. And you married me while wanting her. You made me feel crazy for noticing things. You made me feel grateful when you came home to our bed after being in hers. You made me doubt my own sanity. Emma, I'm sorry, David whispered. I never meant to hurt you. You spent 2 years planning how to hurt me in the easiest way possible. I pulled out my phone and started reading from the screenshots I'd saved. Here's a good one from Vanessa, she's so pathetic and trusting. And David, you wrote back, she's just safe and boring. You're everything I actually want. Should I read more? I have hundreds. Vanessa was sobbing now. Please, Emma. I'm your sister. No, I cut her off. You stopped being my sister the first time you kissed my husband. You stopped being my sister every time you laughed at me behind my back. You stopped being my sister when you called me pathetic for trusting the 2 people who should have been trustworthy. I pulled out another folder. Let's talk about the divorce settlement. Thanks to the prenup you insisted on, David, and thanks to the evidence of your adultery, I get the house. I get 70% of our assets. I get alimony for 5 years. Your lawyer already reviewed everything. It's done. David's face went from white to gray. Emma, that's everything. That's my entire savings. You should have thought about that before you spent 2 years betraying me. I turned to Michael. Your prenup has an infidelity clause, doesn't it? I remember Vanessa complaining about it at your wedding reception. Michael was staring at Vanessa like he'd never seen her before. 50-50 split becomes 90-10 in my favor if there's proven infidelity. She gets almost nothing. He looked at me. Thank you. Thank you for showing me who I married. Michael, please. Vanessa reached for him, but he stood up so fast his chair fell backward. 2 years, Vanessa. 2 years you looked me in the eye and lied. How many times did I ask if something was wrong? How many times did you tell me I was being paranoid? He picked up the photos, his jaw clenched. My lawyer will contact you. Don't come home. He walked out. Just like that. The door closing behind him echoed through the dining room. My parents were frozen. Finally, my father spoke. Emma, sweetheart, I know you're hurt, but maybe we can all sit down and work through this like adults. Work through this. I stared at him. Dad, she slept with my husband for 2 years. There's nothing to work through. My mother's voice was pleading. But she's your sister. Your family. Family forgives. You chose her, I said simply. Every day of my life, you chose her. When she missed my wedding, you told me not to make a fuss. When she criticized me at every family dinner, you told me she was just joking. And right now, with evidence of what she's done, you're asking me to forgive her. You're not asking her to apologize. You're asking me to make this easier for everyone else. I picked up my phone. I'm done. I'm done making myself smaller. I'm done accepting crumbs. I'm done being the family punching bag. My lawyer will handle everything from here, David. Don't contact me except through him. That was 6 months ago. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. David had to take a leave of absence from his firm when word spread about the affair. His reputation in our social circle is destroyed. Vanessa's divorce from Michael was final last month. She got exactly what the prenup specified, almost nothing. Her real estate career tanked when clients started avoiding her. Our parents tried calling for weeks. I blocked their numbers. Last week, I ran into Vanessa at the grocery store. She looked awful. No wedding ring, no designer purse, no confident smile. She tried to walk toward me. Emma, please, can we? I pushed my cart right past her like she was invisible. Like she was nothing. Because that's exactly what she is to me now. I'm dating someone new. Someone who pursued me, who values me, who thinks I'm fascinating instead of boring. I'm not rushing anything. I'm learning what I actually deserve. Yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. I'm sorry. Please. Can we talk? It was Vanessa. I blocked it without responding. People ask if I regret how I handled everything. If I should have confronted them quietly and moved on with dignity. My answer is always the same: they had 2 years of betrayal. I gave them 1 night of truth. And I sleep better now than I have in years. Because the best revenge isn't just getting even. It's becoming someone they can never touch again. I got the last laugh. And it was worth every single second. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and feel free to share your story or opinions in the comments.